Gospel according to St. Matthew, the 3rd chapter. Glory to you, O Lord. Then Jesus came from Galilee to John at the Jordan to be baptized by him. John would have prevented Jesus, saying, "I need to be baptized by you. Do you come to me?" But Jesus answered him, "Let it be so for now, for it is proper for us to in all ways fulfill all righteousness." Then John consented. And when Jesus had been baptized, just as he came up from the water, suddenly the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, the beloved, with whom I am well pleased." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. On Broadway, there is something called the 11 o'clock number. It's the showstopper that is sung around that time, and it's largely a huge, heroic piece sung by one of the lead characters. In the current revival of the early 60s classic, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Daniel Radcliffe is going to play J. Pierpont Finch, an ambitious window washer who is seeking to climb the corporate ladder against the efforts of his boss and perhaps the entire company. At the big musical moment, Finch retires to the executive bathroom, looks at himself in the mirror, and sings, "I believe in you. I believe in you." Everybody has to have someone who believes in them, who brings out the best in them. For Finch, it is his secretary, Rosemary Pilkington, who at the conclusion of the play sings the song back to him. For the rest of us, it may have been a parent, or a grandparent, or an aunt, or an uncle, or a neighbor, or a friend who encouraged us, believed in us, saying, "I believe in you," with us, and sometimes to us as a solo. That's why I always love it when a parent or a grandparent comes up and brags on, as they say in the South, one of their children or grandchildren. There is nothing like staring in the face of a smiling relative who is telling you with unbelievable joy that someone they love has made the dean's list, or got all A's, or received a promotion, or even was cute as a button in the preschool graduation. Some might see this as boasting, like the bumper stickers that you see that read, "My son or daughter is an honor student at..." But I see those bumper stickers, and I hear those conversations with delight, because they're not a sign of a boaster, but of a booster. They say, "I'm proud of my son or daughter, and I want the world, or at least the people in the car behind me, to know it." Pity the person who does not have that, who doesn't have someone around encouraging them by their words and deeds, telling them that they are believed in. For children, that can be devastating, and the devastation can continue on until adulthood. Years ago, I remember reading a book by Dr. Bruce Larson. He died in September of 2008, and here is what the Seattle Times said about him in his obituary. Certainly, the Reverend Dr. Larson was prominent. He served as senior pastor at Seattle's University Church and managed during the decade of his leadership to double the membership to 36,000. He also, 3,600. 36,000 would be one whale of a church. 3,600. He also wrote dozens of books and helped pioneer church movements, including those that emphasize relationships and small groups. But in the book, there's a lot more to health than not being sick. Dr. Larson wrote about his mom, who was a tireless volunteer, but who, he said, never made me feel that I was okay. He wrote, "I spent a lifetime carrying home my trophies, large and small, without ever getting an enthusiastic response. Invariably, she would examine the prize blandly, without much comment. Just as predictably, the anger and frustration would well up within me. My children would say, 'Dad, get off Grandma's back. She's a great person, but she doesn't like herself very much. And since you are a part of her, she doesn't think you're neat either. Quit playing your life to her. It's a no-win deal.'" Larson said, "When I stopped giving her the power to make me unhappy or angry, she could no longer hurt me, and I could love her and accept the kind of love that she was able to give me." Clearly, here was a man who was believed in and listened to by countless people. But the one voice that spoke loudest to him was a negative one.